our longest trusted English newspaper since 1898. Now available digitally. Computer, order the Manila Times Digital Edition. Subscribed. Get the Manila Times Digital Edition for less than 2 pesos and 50 centavos per day when you sign up for 1 year. The Manila Times, news source of choice, trusted since 1898.
Welcome. Thank you for lending an ear to the Voice of the Times for Wednesday, June 1, 2022. For today's editorial, a model of concerted action. Last Friday, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or BSP issued an order to all supervised financial institutions or BSFI to remove all electronic sabong or e-sabong operators from the lists of merchants in their online applications, effectively putting the final nail in the coffin on the banned form of gambling. Although the decision to prohibit e-sabong was seen by many to have come much later than it should have, the concerted action of various government agencies to effectively implement the ban should serve as a positive example for any similar future actions that may be needed. After hesitating for several months due to the potential loss of revenue the move would cause, President Rodrigo Duterte finally issued an executive order suspending all e-sabong operations on May 3. The BSP order effectively makes it impossible for e-sabong operators to make any transactions and thus can be considered the final step in a process that took less than a month to complete. BSP's Memorandum 2022-026 stressed that BSFIs should only deal with gambling and/or online gaming businesses that are allowed to operate by the appropriate government agency. It also directed BSFIs to inform their clients who have funds in their e-sabong accounts to transfer the funds back to their e-wallets within 30 days. After 30 days, BSFIs are directed to cut the links between e-sabong accounts, including those of merchant or operators and e-money accounts. The rampant criminality that arose as a result of the rapid spread of e-sabong, including dozens of unsolved kidnappings and robberies, made allowing it to continue unacceptable, even though stopping it might cost the government up to 5 billion in lost tax revenue, according to the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation or PAGCOR. Once it became apparent that something had to be done about e-sabong, the process of putting a stop to the social ill was remarkably thorough, which allowed it to be carried out quickly. First, the legislature expressed support for taking action after hearings on the case of the kidnapped and still missing e-sabong players, more than 30 people. The Senate issued a resolution expressing its sentiment that e-sabong should be suspended, at least until a law providing for effective regulation could be crafted. That prodded President Duterte to action, and as PAGCOR, which regulates all forms of gambling apart from the National Lottery, falls under the authority of the Office of the President, he was able to order its prohibition with a mere signature. PAGCOR, although it was not enthusiastic about it, then acted as ordered, removing the regulatory authorization for e-sabong operations. That done, the Department of Interior and Local Government or DILG was able to direct local government units and the Philippine National Police or PNP to physically stop e-sabong operations by closing down local outlets. Then finally, the BSP with its order on Friday closed the last channels of e-sabong transactions. The government has also made a request to Facebook to block or remove pages and groups related to e-sabong, but there has been no word yet on whether the social media network will comply. In any event, the loss of the ability of e-sabong operators and players to use digital money channels such as GCash or PayMaya largely renders any remaining online presence impotent. We have become accustomed in this country to watching good ideas, such as prohibitions on harmful activities or products, fail due to a lack of coordination among agencies with a part to play in carrying out those directives and inconsistent enforcement. The government campaign against e-sabong should not be remarkable, but it is because successfully implemented measures are unfortunately often the exception rather than the rule. As the new administration takes office, we hope that incoming officials will take note of the success of the eSabong initiative and implement its best practices in future matters that arise, regardless of whether those are negative in the case of something that needs to be restricted in some way or in more positive ways. Covering all the bases, as it were, ensuring that various agencies with differing responsibilities support and coordinate with each other is the recipe for timely, effective action and should not be forgotten. And that's the editorial for Wednesday, June 1, 2022. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print. Subscribe to its digital edition or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and listen to the Voice of the Times.